Yes, can you see my screen?
Yes, Aditya.
Thank you, Manasa. So, so we are here to discuss on one. Actually, it's not a topic, but it's more like a science. So, in this whole 3 months, mostly it will be around 3 months. We are going to cover a lot of topics in this science, and when we talk about cybersecurity, we need to talk about a lot. And before that, let me introduce myself. So, myself, Aditya, and I started my journey in cybersecurity field from almost when I was in my high school. So it's almost si- around 16 years, I guess. So I started my journey when Orkut was new, and people were so mad about social media and all. So quickly I started being an offensive, all this kind of things, right? Red Hat. Have you guys listened about this kind of technology and security? Red Hat, White Hat. Uh, anyone?
Yeah, it's a kind of attackers.
Yeah.
Attack,
Thank you, Shashi.
attack. Hmm.
So, so I started my journey as a Red Hat hacker, and actually, it used to be a brown hat, but brown hat and black hat, but now people started talking with the different colors. So typically, I used to be a brown hat hacker because of my intentions, but I used to be an offensive security person. Later, I worked for an agency in India in offensive security field. Then I had my master's in Thailand, and I started working for an Australians in Thailand then. But this time I was in defensive field. So long story short, then I came back to India after working over there for a couple of years, and I started my own company. So I understood that the importance of AI is more than life changing. It's more than that. So I started my company in threat intelligence, and yeah, I also have my personal brand called Lead, and I believe that people should be like a leader, not like to be a follower. Leader is not someone who actually like decides or what do you say, commands other what to do. I feel leader is someone who has heavy empathy and think what happens in their other shit and also guide them. So yeah, so this is my brief introduction. So I want you guys to create your own personal brand now, just like my lead, and try to start defining your signature and your story. I also want to know your vision. And I want each and everyone in the class to be engaged in the session because only then we can actually get full out of it. So, Vamshi, why don't you start now?
Yeah, Aditya.
Yeah.
Like coming to my professional career, I have 7 years of experience into IT infrastructure, and I have worked for 3 years into CyberArk, which is PAM privileged access management, and as well as in cybersecurity, I have worked as an like 1 year into SOC side and 1 year into VAPT penetration tester as a network security.
Okay.
Like I worked for two to three projects, which is Dust Bank and Axis, and as well as Vertex, which I worked.
Okay. Is it?
Yeah, uh, that's it.
Okay. So, can you please talk about your vision and how did you come to security field? I want those kind of important snippets here.
Sure. Like when I started my career with system admin, uh,
Okay.
when I started my career in system administrator, I have some of the friends who are into cyber security. their age like 19 years or 20 years. They are so much so much knowledge than me. I used to start the career like they used to start the career in Berry 9 IT in Amirpet. They used to do attacking, hacking with Windows and Linux systems and Wi-Fi hacking. They used to do. I have learned from them. They still I used to learn today as well. Like nearly they have started career within 2 years. The package like 30 lakhs. It's not 30 lakhs, around 60 lakhs package. He is working in Dubai right now. I used to start the career by following them. I used to later on I have concluded that I will be in cybersecurity side, and later on I started like into cybersecurity in CyberArk tool, and later on I started into SOC and as well as VAPT.
Thank you, Vamshi. Actually, it's quite interesting that you have a lot of experience in the cybersecurity field. So I have a quick question to everyone now. So listening to Vamshi's work experience and how he explored the various tools and technologies. So what's the difference between Vamshi and AI bot, which knows how to use the tools over here? We mentioned a lot of from like, yeah, anyone? Okay, so I will continue with the question. So we have spoken about, Vamshi has started talking about a lot of technical terms over here. So why don't we start from here itself? So if I if I think what is necessary in cybersecurity field right now, whether it can be a research purpose, it can be a research purpose or for packages, like Vamshi has said, there are so many lucrative packages in many countries like Dubai, everywhere in the world, right? So if I if I talk about money, so obviously down the line, I see everyone as a leader. So I don't see you guys as for your entire life being a job employee and working somewhere. So once you get some money, also you'll be started thinking about you have your own team of cybersecurity people, let's say like that. And there are so many people like Vamshi or anyone who wants to get inside your company. Then what do you think of that company to be? Let's say you are targeting a low level company, like a startup companies to give a security service provider, like you're a security service provider, and you actually deal security for startups. So you try to make a model like a TCS or Infosys, like an Indian consultant startups who works for free, not free in terms of cheap, let's say cheap. Okay, so that's how we as an IT company grow in India. So once we start thinking in this process, we really understand what we require. So what if I just make a GPT bot which can actually automate my reports. Running a tool doesn't need Vamshi or anyone like that, right? So Vamshi is required to analyze the report and let me know like once there is something which I need to know as a company from cyber security. So we need in terms of cost cutting, immediately human is going to be neglected at least in 4 years from now. We will have a lot of AI options over here. So why do we actually hire humans in I just want to make sure that we are going to talk in human perspective because security is not only just about technology. So you as a personal over there, if you are in SOC, okay, Security Operational Center. So there is a tool called SIAM, SIEM. which actually, okay, let me talk about that tool, just like in starters. CIAM is like, security information and event management. So name itself say that if there is any event happens, security event, which is like some security malfunction or something, there is a management tool which will tell you that where is the problem, how is the problem also, if it is nice, like in a advanced level thing. So in that tool, Vamshi or me or you are not required to run the tool every second. We just need to deploy it. That's it. So how can we be like a real person out there and like, look for our salary? Even it's not like you get, okay, 12 lakh package or 14 lakh package, your job is permanent. At least in USA, it's not. Okay. So I'm also sure Dubai is also like that. The work ethics is never the same. If you want a good work ethic in general in every field, come to Europe, but you won't be getting that huge packages over there. So let's go back to the me as an individual in cybersecurity field. So in this domain, we need that ability to talk, to communicate about that particular security event which happened, and we need to narrate what it is and why it is very important or why it is not very important. So for that, you need a very powerful tool, and that is called storytelling. And second thing, which is also like together, is documentation. So if you want to grow in this field, you need to know how to document each and everything what is happening in that particular tool. Let's say SOC, it's your role is if you want to be in operational center domain in cybersecurity, you need to start, Mahabub, Mahabub, can you mute yourself? Good. So yeah, now I started talking about storytelling, right? So I'm also giving you an chance, like an opportunity again, like you start talking about yourself. I have given you 5 minutes already. So I want each and everyone to continue this and let me know why you are in cybersecurity and what's your vision down the line, at least in like a couple of years, 4 years. So I'm going to pick one person and I think they can start. Shashi,
Yes, Aditya.
do you want
Uh,
to start?
yes, it's okay. Hi, team. This is Shashi. I'm having a overall 8+ years of experience in IT and non-IT, and 5+ years of experience in information security as SOC analyst. And previously, I worked in a non-IT sector, and I was came to the cybersecurity with the hacktivist group is Anonymous. Anonymous, I think you are not pretty much aware of attacker group. They will do the some good things to the people in USA, and they are not active as of now. They are active in earlier 2020. And my roles and responsibilities are I am working in a reputed banking organization as a MDR lead, which is doing the XDR operations. And I was having a tools of exposure of Curador and MS Sentinel as a SM tool, which now updated by the Aditya. And I was having a working experience on EDR and XDR tools. And my vision is, as Aditya updated, in future, everything is communicated. L1 and L2 roles are totally occupied by this SOAR or else automation. And we need to move to the our second generation. Second generation is nothing but now it is going with the cloud security. Just we need to learn about the how the cloud security and how we need to perform the uh, how we need to stop the attacker activities in our organization like that. And that's it, Aditya.
So great, Shashi. Anyone wants to continue now? So, like Shashi has mentioned about few other things like anonymous. So when we are talking about security as a science, there is also a other byproduct which is formed with the technology, which is society. So uh, earlier is not 2020. It was there. I was thinking about my life. So it was there almost when I was in my high school. It was around 2008. So anonymous was hacked. There are few types of societies in security. So earlier, when it was not very accessible kind of thing, I don't remember we have internet at every house when it was 2008 or 7. So uh, Chrome didn't come at 2007, and at least in it was not in a usable scale. So we used to use most of the houses were reliant on Internet Explorer, but introduction of Tor browser has enabled a lot of different user base. So the user base has like two type of divides. One was more like, we need more features and more technology, more softwares. I don't care about who can make it, who can use it, who can see it or not. So, but there is another set of people who also came that they were very privacy oriented. They they understood that internet is not a secure place. Internet is something which is built to communicate, not to communicate securely, only to communicate. It's more like I'm going to a market, a Raitu Bazaar, and talking about my things. If you want to talk about important things in Raitu Bazaar, there are consequences. So this is the story behind the internet. So people understood that okay, we also need to think of security then, and they also started thinking of then because of Facebook. I remember about this game Farmville. So when I was thinking about my story during the Orkut, when Facebook was not that great, when Yahoo was the major, the predominant email thing, the Gmail was okay, it was coming, it was budding star. It was more uh, like creating the accounts is a big deal on internet then. But when Facebook came into the existence, it was always a different approach for them. They started like introducing playing the games and all for free because uh, I'm little much sure about everyone because we as a users used in 2008. So what happened in Facebook? If you see the data policy, he mentioned very clearly that the analytics which are generated during the usage are solely the property of Facebook. And unlike others, this policy is very different then. Now it is everywhere. So, uh, looking about all this kind of things, and also Facebook was not a budding, like uh, startup then. When this policy was introduced, Facebook was a great company. They received $1 billion, more than $1 billion in investment. So these people understood where the world is going into. The world is going into a place where each and every movement, like each and everything, is translating into an log, and that is called analytics. And these analytics should be like obviously this should be like your behavioral things. So all these things actually triggered few set of people who are privacy and security focused personnel, and they started a society called Anonymous. So Anonymous has started for privacy, but it actually turned into hacktivist, which is like, an activist group. And there are quite a lot of interesting stories behind this kind of groups, because they actually are so good at technology. They created one of the best virus and worms and rat, which is called remote administrative Trojan. I'm sure a lot of people know. They engineered it, and there is also one more part in cybersecurity. Once you engineer one backdoor to one victim, clicking that is very much important. Recently, I have seen this movie called Love Today, and there is one hacker who always keeps on saying like link click cheyali, link click cheyali. So that's real. That's the real problem. When I was facing in 2008, I'm still facing that problem if I talk about like malwares or not. So that clicking is entirely on human again. So we are going to talk about that human in detail, and we are going to talk about behavior of that victim, and we are going to try to write few policies. I guess someone has mentioned about access control module, right? PAM, I guess. So there are few theories like RBAC, ABAC, and there used to be a lab which is like very like older one. We are going to talk about that. So we are going to also like translate few set of human behavior in a policy language. So let we are going to talk about policy language also. It can be XML or XACML, but I'm going to introduce a new language called Prolog or Rego. So these both languages are very unique. So these languages actually work in a different way. So generally, if you see any programming language, we write programming language in step-by-step procedural way. Like, okay, you do this, A equal to 10, B equal to 20, okay, A plus plus, which means increment. So if this is this, then you do that. Else, you do this, then you do that. This is a procedure way that you give to the computer in a language. Language is set of rules. So we are going to write in a different language where that language is intelligent enough. Okay, so that is called Prolog is called programming in logic. So just like this, Shashi mentioned about a lot of things that we don't know. Even this logic-based coding is something that you guys don't know. Uh, we are going to discuss about that language. We are going to actually learn how to write in that language using any AI tool of your wish. So uh, let's go back to the first question I have asked. So what is the second point? The first point that we need to know as a human in the security field is storytelling and documentation. And second thing, we need to know how we use AI for our purpose efficiently and also data policy friendly. Okay. So what is that, sir? That means each and every organization has their own rules of using the AI, and we need to be actually in compliance to that rules. So how can you know that rules in your company is what we are going to talk, and also we will use according to that policy only. because if you want to grow in your job, like in your professional space, you need to be under those policies. Okay, so there is an argument nowadays that why AI assistants are actually used if there is a human, and there are other people who are saying like, AI won't replace us, it actually enhances us. So let's be at least for next 5 years in that second argument. Like, so we can say that let's use AI for enhancing our work productivity. So using AI is the second point that we humans should be so smart at when compared to your peers in the organization. So we are going to also talk about how to use this AI assistance for security purpose. Okay. So I'm going to talk about next topic, but before that, let's complete each and every one. Manasa, can you complete? Can you start at least?
Yes, Aditya.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I am Manasa. Uh, Unlike others, I am from totally different background. I'm from civil background actually. So I have like zero idea about cybersecurity. Uh, uh, the main reason I want I want to join cybersecurity is that for a good package, I thought of changing my domain. But when I'm searching like for which domain should I shift, uh, my friend recommended this course. Like she told me that there will be less coding, so it will be easy for you to understand. She advised me to take this course, so that's why I have approached this institute.
Great,
That's all.
Manasa. Great. So next, Surya Bhagavan. Nice name. So you want to start? Oh, okay. So I expect few things if you want to attend this class. People should talk, or else this class going to be like, a different one. I don't think there is another option for you guys. If you want to be in this class, you have to talk. So let's go to another person. Shankar, you want to talk?
Yes, Aditya. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, team. Myself, Gauri Shankar. I started my career as a BPO sector non-IT. It's related to the backend team. We support to the backend team for the US people. I start actually. I want to start my career with networking and cybersecurity. At the time, there is no openings, and I am not aware of the things what are happening in the IT sector. So I start learning by myself, but that much knowledge is not sufficient. I explore some tools like Splunk and Azure Sentinel, but I don't know how the things happen and how the tools are used. So that's why I joined this course. Later, I have a basic knowledge on this. My future aim is to I want to be see as an SOC administrator. I want to be as a cybersecurity admin as well. That's why I joined this course. That's
Great,
it.
Shankar. Great. So next, Narendra, you want to continue this conversation? Prem?
Yeah. Hi, Aditya. This is Prem here. So,
Hey, Prem. Hi.
yeah, hi. So, I have started my career in IT admin field. Okay. After that, like I'm very much interested in this cybersecurity domain. So, I don't have any idea about this domain. So, because of that only, I'm very much interested to join in your course.
Thank you, Prem. It's short and good. So who is the next? bdd.bc.tech.unr. Sai, Ravi Kumar.
Hi Aditya, good evening. Yeah, myself is
Good
Ravi.
evening.
So I
Hey,
have
Ravi.
totally 10.3 years of experience in the IT professional. So my career is starting with the Linux system administrator. I worked as a end-to-end in the Linux system administration, like server build and server decommission, as well as the BAU activities. So hardware and also I worked on that one. So after that, I moved to the DevOps engineering. So currently I work in the cloud apps and the Genpacks. So I would like to more upgrade my skill set in the cyber security side.
Great, Ravi. So, Bharani, you want to continue?
Yeah. Hi Aditya.
Thank you.
Hi everyone.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah. Yeah. Initially, I worked for 1 year for junior system admin, and after that, for 2 years, I have worked for junior business analyst till now. And lack of guidance, I didn't enter into cybersecurity. I want to just go through the course curriculum, and I want to become a software analyst. Yeah, possibly. Depending. In that, that's it.
Yes. Great. So, I have seen a lot of intersections over here. So, uh, let me actually put it in a statement of what is cybersecurity for me. Give me a second to think. So, yeah, I came up. So, I feel cybersecurity is not okay. Let's define like this. Cybersecurity is something which is very human oriented with the help of tools. So, it's more like let's talk about like an experience. Someone has mentioned about their experience in BPO. So, if you are going to talk with a lot of people, you know how to convince the people, and that is called social engineering. They have a fancy name, that's it. So, but the thing why programming is important in this course is because we need to translate into a computer program, a software. I don't call it as software, okay? I call it as a program. So we are also going to talk about what is software, why this fancy name called software, and what is malware. That is also a fancy name. There is no such thing called official name called malware in 2000s, right? So it's malicious software. It tend to be malware now. So we are going to talk about those classification also. So I also am very happy because people are having a lot of experiences in their individual field. So what I feel that is experience matters in security irrespective of their technical expertise. So let's going to talk about that. So who is a hacker? In this course, you guys are my students now. You don't have any experience now. Uh, your experience is going to help in your practical implementation. But as my students, you need to have this qualities. This is my like I I'm going to decide like who can be an hacker with these three important aspects. So hacker is generally a cracker. So cracker mentality is something which should be reflected while you are doing your practical implementations. So this is not going to be like a simple uh, okay, there is this tool that you need to learn. Click file and click save, then you can save the program. This is not how the course will be. Okay, so you guys have to push a lot. I know how to make this course into such like which can actually help everyone. I can't be like technical approach, or I can't be like in a theoretical approach kind of thing. So We are going to talk about that too. I also want this kind of mindset. So the second thing is all about mindset. So you should never accept, okay, like it just works or something like that. Okay, what is Splunk? Splunk is very super tool. Uh, this is this, this is that. This is not how it should be. You need to ask why Splunk came in the picture, and how can we say that Splunk is the solution for that picture? Okay, that is the mindset that we need to know. And traits, patience is very much important for both, because hacker is someone can be an offensive one and defensive one, right? So both can actually flip. బోర్లా పడతారు పేషెన్స్ లేకపోతే. So persistence is very much important in this course and in the real world, especially in security. And creativity, creativity, creativity. There is no wrong or there is no right. There is only, like, how can you say? There is only path. You can only decide at the end. You can't decide at the starting. Okay. So discipline to document everything. So, like I mentioned, the first point is about documentation. So let's talk in security aspect, okay? Security aspect ante I'm sure everyone knows how to talk in Telugu. So let's talk in a native language now. So security mundu prefix is cyber. So cyber is a technology. Technology, this computers came in 1991. But what about before that? Security prefix and there should be some other security for us, right? Let's say organization like watchman, or other things, right? Related to logging things, gates, access, and all these things. Before that, what can be the other security thing? So it can be like a war, invasion, అంతే కదా రాజులు అట్లా security అంటే అది ఆ that set of people actually have that mindset, colonial or anyone till 1918, 1800s or 1900s. Security and it's all about your security, right? Your personal security and all, because wars happened. So if you see these three sectors, security, irrespective of those prefix, okay, what we need is a proper way to hide ourselves or to attack. Okay, so documentation is very much important in three sectors. If you talk about access control, like in 1990s or 1980s, there should be a clear manual about who needs to enter, who doesn't need to enter, and also there should be a great manual about that tool. Like your అదే కదా ఇదివరకు మనం ఏమైనా ఒక ఇప్పుడు మ్యాక్బుక్, if you buy a MacBook, you get a manual. Generally we are not getting manuals anymore, tech manuals or anything in the box, but manual is very much important. So సార్ మీరు చెప్పే ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ అన్నిటికి యూజ్ అవ్వట్లేదు అంటే, ఇఫ్ యూ గో బ్యాక్ టు అగైన్ ద ఫస్ట్ రాజుల కాలం సెక్యూరిటీ, దే యూస్ టు బి అన్ ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్స్. అంటే ఇట్లా ఒకడు యుద్ధం చేసి గెలిచాడు అని ఒక డాక్యుమెంట్ చేస్తాడు. సో ఇన్ ఎ సిమిలర్ వే, ఈవెన్ ఫర్ సైబర్ సెక్యూరిటీ దెర్ ఇస్ వెరీ మచ్ ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ డాక్యుమెంటేషన్, because when we are dealing with security as a field, we are not going to get like a free hand. మనకి బడ్జెట్ ఎక్కువ ఉండదు. యు ఆర్ థింకింగ్ అబౌట్ యువర్ ఎర్లియర్ సాలరీస్. ఓకే, సెక్యూరిటీ SOC 1, SOC 2 is okay. You won't be that much affected with the budget and all. But once you grow in this field, so once you need that stage where you need fund for your team and you need decision from your top level management, you won't be getting that. You need to be only convincing them with your story. So organization ki idi problem. సో అందుకే మనకి ఇది ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయాలి. సో దీస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ డెసిషన్స్ కెన్ బి ఓన్లీ బి డన్ త్రూ documentation. So we are going to talk about that too. How to actually document efficiently and effectively, where anyone of any background, organizationలో cyber security అని ఒక వింగే ఉండదు. There are so many other wings, top tier wings, which actually take decisions for cybersecurity wing. So we need to make a documentation which can actually be able to understandable like for everyone, like a manual. So course outcomes are addictive. So, but I think these are the outcomes that we are going to target, right? So we are going to build the confidence. So each and everyone who mentioned about their career should be confident that they're good at security. Okay, cyber security in precise, because we are talking about technology security. So uh, we need to have this confidence that I need to break this thing to understand. So for that, you need to have your hands dirty, right? Clean hands తో మీరు చేయలేరు ఇప్పుడు. ఈ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ మీకు రాదు. So for that, I'm going to talk about those. And fundamentals, we are going to talk very, 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 very fundamental things in this course. And then we are going to construct on that fundamentals. So if your fundamentals are strong enough, we are going to build a tallest building like Burj Khalifa. If not, I don't think we will be having a sustainable future in security. So, and most important thing is instinct. So అందరిలో ఉంటుంది బేసిక్గా ఇన్స్టింక్ట్, అండ్ ఆల్సో అందరికీ ఇన్స్టింక్ట్ కావాలి, బికాస్ cyber security is not something a different domain right now. In 2008 it was, 2010s it was, 20s till 20s it was, but I don't think a new normal after 2020 it's not a different field, because we are so much attached to the online now. So we have to be very smart to protect ourselves from victims, right? So we are going to talk about social engineering, like I mentioned, మనం మాట్లాడుకోని ఎట్లా. So, okay, I will also share you one good slogan in hacking field, at least in Anonymous, okay? Anonymous group lo, there are people who made this slogan. A great hacker is a person who doesn't use his or her keyboard first. So ante hacker is not one who programs and make a sophisticated tools. A great hacker is the person who doesn't use it. Ante just with talking, just to understand, just to observe the behavior of that particular victim, we need to crack. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు ఇతని ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఏముంది? ఓకే, సినిమాలు ఎక్కువ చూస్తున్నాడు. ఓకే, సినిమాల్లో ఏం మనకి తెలుసు. ఇప్పుడు తెలుగు సినిమా అంటే వీ కెన్ క్లాసిఫై టు 4 to 5 different fan page like groups, or sixth one is he's not a fan for anyone, he's a fan of a story, right? So 7 groups or 8 groups, let's say we are quantifying that as a metric. Then we are going to actually observe, right? Then first we spoke about essential trait is to observing, right? So we are going to observe. Okay, he's going to this movie and he's listening to these songs and all. So maximum what password Mahesh Babu, Jay Mahesh Babu Ochamo, right? This is like this instinct that you have. Everyone have that. So we are going to talk about those kind of instincts, and we are going to talk about how to develop that to protect your organization, not to you separately. Okay, so expectations, my expectations, prerequisites matters, and as I mentioned in the earlier slide, to make your hand dirty, this course is very intensive course with hands-on. So it's going to be like your work and it's hybrid course where you have access to the labs in the institute, and you are going to listen the classes. And we are going to have midterm and final project. And final, most probably everyone are looking into SOC, SOC, operational center, and I see everyone are actually capable of reaching very higher positions in that field. So let's do one thing. Let's build a SOC which is so smart, which is AI integrated. So Malli, if we link to the first part of the class when we spoke about society like anonymous, there are two type of people. One set of people are focused on features. We don't care whose software it is, what it is doing to us or not. There is another people who are very focused on what is happening behind the hood. Okay. So for that, we are going to be an open source based SOC tool. Okay. సో మనం ఒక ఓపెన్ సోర్స్ బేస్డ్ ఒక సాక్ టూల్ ఫైనల్గా చెయ్యాలి. గ్రూప్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఇది. సో your group will be typically of 3 to 4 people. So I can see a lot of mixed, like, there are people with DevOps. For them, I think it's hardly a couple of days to actually make something into reality. So there are few people who are great at humans, like a BPO, and they talk with a lot of people. So those people should actually translate those things, those rules, and those rules should be deployed in this SOC tool. So this is an example I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to do here is that at the end of the course, you guys should come up with a SOC. Okay. Only then మన అవుట్కమ్ బిల్డ్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ అన్నది రాదు. ఓకే. సో as I said, course will be designed personally. Now that I got to know your background, once I get the confirmation of your like మీరు రావాలనుకున్నప్పుడు I get an yes from everyone, then I will design it. Then let's talk about syllabus. Fundamentals going to be discussed in detail. Hardening గురించి మాట్లాడాలి. So each and every module is going to be more like a infused of 3 things, right? Using storytelling and documentation. Second thing, using AI tools. And third thing is building that. Only then you can make a complete thing at final. So these are the modules that we are going to cover. Like I mentioned, participation. Mute లో ఉంటే కుదరదమ్మా, మార్కులు తక్కువ వస్తాయి. So yeah. Any questions? Let me know.
Aditya, hi.
Hey, Vamshi.
Yeah, actually, students are asking which are the tools will be covered.
So we are going to cover a lot of tools.
Like
But
they are
this
asking which
course,
tools in web security, which tools are they covering, and coming to the SOC, which tools are they covering? Like they are asking the tools which will be covered in this course.
so there will be a lot of tools and Vamshi garu. So this can't be a straightforward question, and I'm not going to be like a simple transactional person with these kind of tools that you are going to learn. We are going to understand each and every tool which is at least in OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities and mention చేస్తారు OWASP వాళ్ళు చాలానే. We are going to talk about each and every tool, but what I expect you guys to understand is the basic. So at the end, if you're talking about some let's say DOS attack, so DOS attack అంటే DOS attack వద్దు, man in the middle attack. What is the man in the middle attack? There is a fancy name called man in the middle, but it's simple. Man in the middle అంటే ఇద్దరు మాట్లాడేటప్పుడు ఒకటి మధ్యలో నుంచి వింటాం. That is the tech. Okay. Tool is not the tech. That's the tech. Tech and technique. So how can we stand in middle of those two hops అంటే కంప్యూటర్స్ మధ్యలో ఎలా ఉండగలం is to understand the network. Okay, one way. So to understand the network, we need a tool called Wireshark. Okay, so I can say that we are going to use Wireshark, we are going to use this tool, that tool, but I don't actually teach in that way. You need to know why Wireshark is used as a tool in the man in the middle attack. So we are going to talk about man in the middle attack. Then we are going to talk about tools. So what I ask you guys, if you want to be part of this course, is to be my students, trust the process, and be like, the best students possible. And మీరు ఎంత experience తెచ్చుకున్నా, it's not rude. I'm trying to say here, it's the course, right? You are my students. So I will give you each and everything uh, in written format, like aim tools, చేస్తాము అవన్నీ. But I don't think we are going to constrain to those tools only. Okay, if anyone can, like Shashi garu, if you think of some new tool in some మన మాడ్యూల్లో వెబ్ సెక్యూరిటీలో మీకు అనిపించింది అనుకోండి, ఆర్ఎల్స్ మీకు ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్లో ఒక టూల్ కనిపించింది అనుకోండి, మీరు సెక్యూరిటీ ఏదో చూస్తున్నారు కదా మీరు అందరూ ఇప్పుడు, సో లెట్ మీ నో దాట్. సో ఆఫ్టర్ ద క్లాస్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు టాక్ అబౌట్ ఇట్. సో మీరు అడగాలి, అప్పుడే మీకు ఆ 10% ఆఫ్ మార్క్స్ వస్తాయి. సో yeah, I don't have a straight answer for what tools we are going to use, but I have a straight answer about what we are going to cover. This is the course that we are going to cover. And what is threat intelligence? Threat intelligence అంటే టూల్స్ ఉన్నాయి, చాలానే ఉన్నాయి. ఏంటి థ్రెట్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ టూల్స్ ఎవరికి తెలుసు? ఎనీవన్ నోస్? శశి
Yeah,
గారు
yeah.
ప్లీజ్
Recorded
టూల్
features.
టూల్ నేమ్ ఒకటి చెప్పండి.
Recorded features.
ఓకే, గ్రేట్. సో ఆ టూల్ రికార్డెడ్ ఫీచర్స్ నేర్చుకోవడం కాదు ఇక్కడ. థ్రెట్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ అంటే వన్స్ యు నో ద once you predict there is a threat happening in the system, we need to notify the SOC member that there might be a potential threat from this particular activity. Okay, సో ఈ సైన్స్ని మనం ఒక టూల్ కింద చెయ్యాలి, మనం చేయాలి. ఓకే, ఫర్ దాట్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు టాక్ లాగ్ స్టాష్ అని, కిబానా అని. వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు బిల్డ్ అవర్ ఓన్ సాక్ టూల్ కదా, జస్ట్ లైక్ దాట్ టూల్ మెన్షన్ బై శశి గారు. సో వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు లుక్ ఇన్ టు వెరీ బేసిక్స్, లైక్ గిట్హబ్లో ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ చూస్తాం మనం, మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ చూద్దాం. సో మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ అంటే ఏంటి? అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ద ప్యాటర్న్ అండ్ ఆటోమైజింగ్ ఇట్. అంటే ఒక బేబీని మనం, ఇది చూడు బాబు, రెడ్గా ఇట్లా గుండ్రంగా ఉంటే యాపిల్, రెడ్గా గుండ్రంగా ఉంటే యాపిల్. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ట్రైనింగ్ ద సిస్టమ్. వన్స్ we show that real apple to that baby should say that's apple. So in the same way with that we are going to do it. So దానికి టూల్ ఏం అవసరం లేదు, పైథాన్ కోడ్ కావాలి. సో and how can we link that Python code to our Logstash or Kibana or something like that? So we are going to talk about very raw science, very raw computer security, not tool-based fancy and ineffective security. This is going to be a very hard course, but ఏంటంటే మీకు వర్క్షాప్స్ ఉంటాయి. I make it happen. మీకు ఇది హైబ్రిడ్ కోర్స్ కాబట్టి workshops are something that you have to do on your own self. There will be TA allocated for you guys. So నేను కొన్ని exercise assignments ఇస్తాను మీకు. You have to complete it in that lab session. So we will stitch those lab sessions and finally we will get a SOC tool. Okay, you don't have to think a lot, just do your lab session to the fullest. Okay, and let's stitch each lab session. At the half of the course you will be having mid project, so you'll be stitching 5 lab sessions. At the end of the course you'll be stitching rest 5, and finally you'll be getting a SOC tool. And who knows, a SOC tool is a new tool in the market. మీరు entrepreneur అవుతారేమో. So let's see. Okay.
Aditya,
Any other question?
is there any topics covering on the malware analysis?
Yeah, we are going to cover, right? In security monitoring, we are going to talk about what is malware and how can we actually understand that. Only then we can monitor it, right?
Yeah, we
So
can
we are
monitor it,
going
but what are the analysis? We are going with the static or dynamic analysis. Whether
we are
we are
going to
having any
use
this one, sorry, what it is called, any dot run kind of thing.
So static and dynamic is a great question. So we are going to use both because according to the policies, we can't actually monitor dynamically for everything. Okay. Let's say if your client is a uh, government agency, you can't do dynamic. So static is something where it will be stored in a file and you will monitor it again, right? So uh, one more thing that I am concerned as an instructor over here is that I have a different set of people in the class. So I can't sound technical in the first class. Okay. I don't want to overwhelm everyone. మానిటరింగ్ అంటే అందరికీ తెలుసు మానిటర్ అంటే తెలిసిందే కదా చెక్ చేయడం సో సేమ్ వే వీఆర్ చెకింగ్ ద ఫైల్స్ వీఆర్ చెకింగ్ ద యాక్టివిటీ వీఆర్ చెకింగ్ ద లాగ్స్ ఓకే యా ఇదంతా కలిపే థ్రెట్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ అంటారు థ్రెట్ అంటే ఒక థ్రెట్ దాన్ని ఎట్లా మేనేజ్ చేయగలం మనం ఓకే అప్లికేషన్ సెక్యూరిటీ అన్నాక వన్స్ యూ నో హౌ టు మేనేజ్ ఇట్ యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు ఇంప్లిమెంట్ ఇట్ ఆన్ అన్ అప్లికేషన్ అప్లికేషన్ అంటే ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఒక అప్లికేషన్ అంటే ఒక ప్రాబ్లమ్కి సొల్యూషన్ ఒక అప్లికేషన్ సో ఆ ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి అన్నది మనం థర్డ్లోనే నేర్చుకుంటాం వాట్ ఈస్ ద ప్రాబ్లం థ్రెట్ అన్నది ప్రాబ్లం కాబట్టి సో ఫర్ దాట్ ప్రాబ్లం లెట్స్ సే స్ప్లంక్ ఇస్ అన్ అప్లికేషన్ టు సాల్వ్ దట్ ప్రాబ్లం అనుకుంటే దానికి స్ప్లంక్కి సెక్యూరిటీ ఎట్లా ఓకే అట్లా మనం నేర్చుకుంటాం మాడ్యూల్ 4లో సో ఎనీథింగ్ ఎల్స్
Hi, Aditya.
Yeah.
Actually, not completely non-IT background. So, is there any chance to getting job as a fresher?
Someone said about సెక్యూరిటీలో కోడింగ్ తక్కువ అది అని సో పార్షియలీ ట్రూ అండి అది బికాస్ సెక్యూరిటీలో ఇస్ మోర్ అబౌట్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ద సిచ్యుయేషన్ సో
Okay.
మీరు నాన్ ఐటీ అయినా సాకే
Mm.
తీసుకోండి ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ సాక్లో
Mm.
టిపికల్గా ఒక ఆర్గనైజేషన్లో రైట్ నో మాట్లాడితే ఒక సియామ్ టూల్ ఉంటుంది అంతే ఓకే సో ఆ సియామ్
Okay.
టూల్లో లాగ్స్ వచ్చాయనుకోండి దానికి మళ్ళీ కలర్ కోడింగ్ కూడా ఉంటుంది లైక్ రెడ్ అండ్ గ్రీన్ అండ్ ఆరెంజ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ రెడ్ ఎక్కువ
Mm.
వచ్చాయంటే మీరు మీ పైన వాళ్ళకి నోటిఫై చేయాలి దానికి మీకు
Mm.
ఏమన్నా డోంట్ యూ థింక్ యూ ఆర్ ఎలిజిబుల్ ఫర్ దాట్ రైట్ నా రెడ్ వస్తే చెప్పలేరా మీరు సో
Yes.
సో సెక్యూరిటీ ఇస్ మోర్ లైక్ ఆ రెడ్ ఎందుకు వచ్చిందో మీరు ఇప్పుడు అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి క్లియర్గా ఓకే సో
Okay.
యా ఐ థింక్ యు ఆర్ అ గ్రేట్ ఫిట్ ఫర్ సెక్యూరిటీ డోంట్ వరీ అబౌట్ ఇట్
Prerequisite is low, and Linux and Python is mandatory and it mentioned this. అంటే
అవునండి లైక్ సో
అందరూ
యూ
బేసిక్.
ఓకే గాట్ ఇట్ సో మీకు బేసిక్స్ లేవు ఐ అండర్స్టూడ్ దాట్ నేను ఈ స్లైడ్స్ ఐ డోంట్ నో ద స్టూడెంట్స్ రైట్ సో వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు కవర్ దట్ ఇన్ వర్క్ షాప్ ఓకే వర్క్ షాప్స్ ఉంటాయి ఐ డోంట్ నో హౌ మచ్ యు ఆర్ అవేర్ ఆఫ్ ఎందుకంటే మీకు 8 years 10 years అలా ఉంది కాబట్టి ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్ హ్యాస్ చేంజ్ రైట్ నౌ ఇన్ కోడింగ్ థింగ్స్ హ్యాకథాన్స్ ఇట్లా చాలా వచ్చాయి కదా కల్చర్ స్టార్టప్స్లో అట్లానే మనం చేస్తాం ఇప్పుడు అజైల్ ప్రాసెస్ ఇది సో హ్యాకథాన్స్ చేస్తాం హ్యాకథాన్స్ అంటే ఏంటంటే ఫర్ ఎ ఫిక్స్డ్ పీరియడ్ ఆఫ్ టైం సో వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు సాల్వ్ ఏ ప్రాబ్లం ఓకే మీ ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి లైనక్స్ యూస్ చేయడం రాదు అనుకున్నాం హ్యాకథాన్ 1 month మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే అట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద హ్యాకథాన్ మీకు ఆ లైనక్స్ యూస్ చేయడం వచ్చేయాలి అర్థమైందా సో మీకు ఎట్లా వస్తుంది బేసిక్స్ ఆఫ్ లైనక్స్ ఇవన్నీ మనం కవర్ చేస్తాం అనమాట దాంట్లో అండ్ at the final like you need to know how to use command prompt సో కమాండ్ ప్రాంప్ట్లో బేసిక్ కమాండ్స్ ఎట్లా యూస్ చేయాలి, ఒక కమాండ్ కొట్టాక మళ్ళీ బ్యాక్ ఎట్లా వెళ్ళాలి, ఇయే కదా బేసిక్స్. ఇప్పుడు వర్డ్ నేర్చుకున్నారు, దాంట్లో బేసిక్ ఏంటి? ఫైల్ ఓపెన్ చేయాలి, ఫైల్లో ఒక డాక్యుమెంట్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి, డిలీట్ చేయాలి, అప్లికేషన్ క్లోజ్ చేయాలి. ఇదే కదా మనం నేర్చుకునేది ఫస్ట్. సో అట్లానే మనం లైనక్స్లో కూడా నేర్చుకుంటాం సమ్ బేసిక్ థింగ్స్. దెన్ ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ హ్యాకథాన్ you need to sit on your own self, invest some time, okay? Now that you'll be understanding what is it, what is what, use YouTube videos, work on it, okay? And let me know. I can be in
By
touch
the
with you for that.
బై ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ కోర్స్ అంటే ఓన్లీ సాక్ అయినా లేకపోతే పెన్ టెస్టింగ్ కూడా కంప్లీట్ గా కవర్ అవుతుందా, బేసిక్ వరకు కవర్?
నాకు సాక్, పెన్ టెస్టింగ్ అని అట్లాంటివి ఏం లేవండి. నాకు తెలియదు అట్లాంటి రూల్స్, ఓకేనా? అండర్స్టాండ్ దట్ దిస్ ఇస్ అబౌట్ సైబర్ సెక్యూరిటీ. ఇట్స్ అబౌట్ యూ, వేర్ యూ విల్ బి ఫిట్టింగ్ ఇన్ దట్, ఓకే? రూల్స్ అన్నవి ఈ ఫీల్డ్లో చిన్న చిన్న కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్స్, ఓకే? వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు టాక్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ టు ద ఇంటెలిజెన్స్. ఇట్స్ అప్ టు యూ వేర్ యూ వాంట్ టు ఫిట్ అట్ ద ఎండ్, okay?
ఓకే.
Don't worry about all those technical fancy things in the job market or organizations. We are not going to be that person, because if you want to be unique and with confidence, you need to be having in a different approach. Then we will come back to the reality, okay? We are not saying that మనం బయట ప్రపంచానికి సంబంధం లేదు అనట్లేదు. Finally, we will again have this 5 minutes prep, and you guys should talk about where you want to be now. I noted each and everyone, like what you guys said to me. Then we will again cross verify. Okay? Okay then. Thank you guys. I took a long section, but I think it's required to know each and everyone what we are getting into. I hope you guys had a good time with me. Thank you.